Hello and welcome back to the Flower Gold Wizard channel. I'm Jason. That's Rigby. We're part-time gold prospectors based in Wisconsin. And we've been at this spot before and there's great gold to be had here. We got chased out of here a little bit by the cold. The last time we were here it was minus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Today it's plus 22 degrees Fahrenheit. A heat wave. So hit that subscribe button and hold on to your hat. Back in a bit. Well, let's just take a little look at where we're going to work today. Rigby, my gold sniffing hound, is sniffing around up here a little bit, but he turned right around. Must not have smelled nothing good. He, by the way, is the world's most famous gold sniffing hound. This was an old beaver dam. It looks like Mother Nature knocked it down a little bit. That was quite a bit higher. I've been here before. And a lot of this area right here is still locked up in some pretty good ice, so we're not going to monkey around with that when there's plenty of open areas like right down here that we can get a shovel in the ground. And I know there's great gold down here. Take a little walk. Yeah, there's all kinds of ground to be worked here. There's a little bit of skim ice on that, but I think I'm going to focus my attention right there up along that bank right there. Now, I'm not going to dig into the bank. Well, it's probably froze anyway. But you never want to dig into the bank. Now, we worked here a couple times before, and right there I chainsawed that whole area out of there. And as you can see, that's the only spot that has ice in it. So I'm going to slide up the creek just a little bit, because I know there's good gold in this whole bank right here, this whole edge. I could even slide down there just a little bit. I might have to do a little fluffing up over here in this shallow spot in the creek. I'll get a dam built up for my sluice. I did bring my big green machine here today, and I brought the legs along with it. Here's my little leg holders, so I can do whatever I want with that thing. I could set it up in that darn beaver dam up there. So let's do that. I'll get up and running, and we'll show it when we got some gold in the pan. Back in a bit. All right, we've got our dam built up over there. Pretty good. I think that's going to work out real well. Now I'm getting my sluice ready to go here, and I just wanted to show you what I got for a sluice here today. This is a Devon Gold VDR sluice mat. VDR stands for Vortex Drop Riffle. All right, now I got this from Infinity Prospecting, and it's my go-to, especially for this flower gold in Wisconsin and for the Midwest for that matter. All right, now I got this sluice from Pirate Prospecting, Gary over at Pirate Prospecting. Now I went ahead and I added these legs on there with some JB weld or leg holders, and my little legs here, they just slide right into these little slots, and I can adjust the top and the bottom of the sluice as I see fit. It comes in real handy with high water, you know, where you can't just set up the way you would in a low water, shallow bench like that situation. And I'm glad I brought those with today, because the water is just a little bit higher than it was, and that's going to work out real well. And now I have a rubber like a roof liner mat installed up on top. It kind of gives me an indication of if I'm shoveling gold on there or not, because the gold, as soon as you drop it on that mat, it falls right through that water and right through the gravel and sand and drops on that mat, and it creeps along the bottom here real slowly and then down onto the mat. Now here's my mat, and I got a little bit of duct tape holding a little something under there to raise the level of the head of this to match the height of the offset in this mat, because you can see the sluice box sits a little bit lower than the flare, and I want my sluice mat to match the height of my flare. So I just put a little something in there, and I silicone this rubber piece on there. Now let me get this right up in there, and I'll slide it right up and underneath there. You see that? Now that went up in there about, I'd say 1.5 inches, darn near 2 inches. And that is critical for this flower gold we're after here. And I'll tell you why. Because right up in there, you see that seam right there? You cannot get that seam tight enough to not let flower gold go down into that seam. So I made this mat to go over the top of my mat, my sluice mat here, so as not to have gold fall into there. Now this sluice came with like a stainless steel drip edge that bolted on there, and that was intended to get the gold and the material to flow over the top of that crack and then onto your mat. But the gold we get around here, it goes right under that stainless steel drip edge. I guarantee it 100% because I've tried it. And this is the way to go right here, at least in my opinion. That gold's not going to go back that way 2 inches. It's going to go right on top of this mat and get trapped in these areas right here. So let me get my legs on here. I'll just give this a little flip over like this. Throw my leg in there. I got a little wing nut on there, slide it right down and tighten it up. Just like that. I'll get my other 3 in there and we'll get the sluice in the water. Enough Jack John, we're gonna get shoveling. Now just because I know there's really good gold to be had here, doesn't mean I'm not gonna test, because that's how you find good gold. Test. And I'll show you exactly where I took my first sample from. Right here. Now I've got my sluice set up right there. It looks like it's running quite well. I've got my legs adjusted as far as I can tell just right. We'll have to throw some material on there just to make sure. And here is said material right here. I took a nice big pan out of there and it looks good and mushy and there's a decent amount of clay in this stuff. That's where the gold's hiding in that, on that top layer of clay. And you know, there is gold mixed in when the gravel's underneath it. But I've always had really good luck in the material right on top of that clay. Go ahead, take a whiff. There you go. And that's what it smells like. So let me get that baby pan down and we'll take a look at it. Exciting news. Well, he's yawning, but it's exciting to me. Now I tried up in there a little bit where I had intended on, but that ice right inside of there under the water goes down quite a ways. And looked like somebody had dug in there pretty good and I wasn't getting any, well, a couple little dots of gold, but nothing to crow about. So I did a couple of test pans, working my way up this way just a little bit. And I got right in front of this dam I built right here. And the first half a pan I took right out of behind this big rock right here. Look at this right here. Look at that. That's a nice big old piece, along with all kinds of little tiny bits of flour gold kind of scattered about in here. But that is absolutely great. Look at that piece right there. I can feel that all day long. All right, so I'm going to get my classifier going. The world's best classifier, by the way. I got my new one here. I left Jocelyn at home. This is Jocelyn's sister. Why do I call it Jocelyn? Because this shape of a classifier really jostles the material around in there. Hence, Jocelyn. This is Jocelyn 2 for now, until I come up with a better name. So I'm going to get to work doing that. We're going to start feeding them big chunks of gold to my sluice right there. Back in a bit. But first, a word from our sponsor. Today's snack time break is brought to you by Smith Meats, Smith Beef Sticks. Loved by everyone, even Rigby. He's a hard-working miner. He deserves one a day, even though he's on a diet. Hopefully I can give you an example of what I was talking about before, of the little tiny bits of gold. That's a little bit bigger one, but they get plenty good and smaller than that when they're there. And they just really slowly creep down this black rubber matting and onto this sluice. Now any small little creek or crevice in there, that's going to drop right inside of it and you're going to lose that gold, or it's going to get trapped under the mat and you might not get it at all. Now I used to have a little bolt right here, but it was creating a little whirling action right in this front riffle, and it shot all my material right up to one side. And I noticed that a lot of times it would ride right down this edge here, and I think right on out of the sluice. So I think I was losing gold in this top section. I mean, it always did catch gold, but I don't think it was catching all the really small stuff. So we're off to a good start. I have been noticing quite a bit of gold on there, and I was fortunate enough to get that one to stick right on that little ridge right there in the rubber. So that tells me we're still on the gold. I've got about a half a pail gone already here. This is really good stuff. It's a little bit sandy. There's some clay in there. But I tell you what, I don't care if there's baby carrots in there. There's gold in there too. So let's get some. Hey, look who showed up. It's long lost Ryan.
Guys.
Slept in a little today, huh?
A little. You guys got up when you got here.
Yep. Well, he came down here and I was working away. And he took a couple little pans over in there and got a couple specks. So we're basically just getting started. But I know I'm on the gold. I got another pail running through there. Let me throw another one on there as long as I'm just sitting here, Jack John. There we are. We'll take a look and see how well the sluice is running. And it is. Look at those. Look at all those vortexes. It's just like a fluid bed inside of there. All that gold's creeping right across this mat and falling right in those drop riffles. And those little spinnerets right there. I love this mat. Love it. So I know we're on the gold. Here's another nice piece creeping down. Yeah, that one. Fantastic. All right, back at it. Mine boss is busy. Hey, Rigby. All right, that's 3 half pails. We're gonna do a cleanup just to make sure we're catching everything we want to catch. And I do see all kinds of gold down inside of my my first riffle here. So we're gonna do a quick little cleanup. Take a look at it. Just as easy as that. It's nice when everything doesn't freeze up on you. Ryan, would you agree?
Yeah. Within seconds.
I'll take 20 degrees above zero any day. There. And done. Let's take a look. And in about a minute and a half, I really quickly brush that back. There's some pretty darn good gold showing up in there. Now that is just, this is an inch thick of black sand on at this end of the pan. And there's probably, I would say 10 times the amount of gold is what's showing up. That's for sure. That's just out of 3 5 gallon pails. So we're doing quite well. And there are a number of slightly larger pieces in there. So all we gotta do now is get back at it. He's back at it. Where's the mine boss? Hey Rigby, you back at it? He's back at it. Here's a quick look at some of the gold I've been snuffering up as I go. There's some nice little bits in there, that's for sure. There's my big old sausage. Yeah, we're doing well. Nice little wiry pieces, lots of flour. Oh yeah, he's grinding away over there. We're still grinding away over here. There's some really nice pieces I saw on here too. So we're gonna have something to look at when we get back. Right, Rigby? That's right. Video update, back in a bit. That's right. A big one. All right, now, 'tis the season. Everybody's gonna start getting out there and doing their thing. Now don't forget, in spots like this is a county park right here. They're allowing us to come down here and do a little bit of prospecting, and we should respect the land and respect their property rights. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reclaim this area. I'm going to take the dam apart before we take off. Ryan's got a secret spot he's going to take me to, and we're going to go see if we can get a picker or two. I know we got a lot of gold in our black sand container, but before we go do that, I'm going to go ahead and start taking this all apart. Just kind of scatter about here and there. Mother Nature will do the rest. Even the ice. It's as simple as that. Well, here's Ryan's secret spot. It's up in there a little ways. Got a pretty steep bank, so you might have to bust a little ice to get to it. But I see all kinds of tasty areas over in here. Matter of fact, right here I'm standing on a nice shallow area with really nice looking sized cobbles in here. Let me pick one of these up. Just like that. This whole area is full of them. And then right down in this area here, it gets quite a bit deeper, and there are a number of slightly larger rocks. That one there I'll never be able to move, but there are some I would say basketball size rocks in here. I would think you could find gold in pretty much all this stuff. And you're really looking for areas where it concentrates it. And that might be one right over there, up along that bank where all the cobbles are dropping out and settling right where they drop. And when I stepped off this bank right here, I stepped right in some muck. So I don't know what's underneath this muck. Take a little shovel of this stuff here, and it's instantly right to gray clay. There's no gravels on it or nothing, so this is getting worn out pretty good with the current. I think we move up that way just a little bit and get up on top of this shallow area right in front where the material I think is dropping out first, the heaviest stuff. See if we can't pick up something there. I'm after a nugget now. We got lots of flour gold in our container right up there. I want a nugget. Ryan fell in. Well, I did my first test pan. I went right out into the middle here on top of that shallow area, and I moved that big rock right there. And I dug out a little bit from underneath it, and it's flour gold. Nothing huge. Let me see if I can find that stuff in there. Right there, there's, I don't know, a few pieces, I guess. So there is gold in this, on this hump. I want a nugget. I'm gonna take my little snuffer here. Right here. I'm gonna grab them up just like such. And I'm gonna start speed panning here because the pieces I'm after will show up real quick. Come on, find the gold, buddy. Find the gold. Where is it? Well, Rigby found me a good spot. I started out here, I started out there, and I tested here, and I tested there. Rigby came right over here and put his nose in the water and said, right here. So I did, right in the middle. Here's what I got. And there are about 15 little pieces in there, including a couple of them of a little bit bigger size. So that's quite encouraging. I'm going to go ahead and snuffer those babies up, just like such. Got them. We're going to punch the china right there, see what happens. Thanks, Rigby. That's right. All right, Rigby, I'll do it. Jeez, get off my back. It's the Chris Lilly Rock of the Week. Look at that baby. My buddy Chris Lilly up in Canada, he sure likes a lot of the rocks I find. So I like to showcase one here and there. And I tease him I'm going to mail it to him. And every once in a while I do. He'd like this rock in particular. Nice white quartzy looking stuff and some rose quartz milk mixed in with it right there. That's pretty nice stuff, huh, Chris? Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to airmail it. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna head out. You got a little bit of gold today.
Ryan's getting hungry.
Yep.
Let's see what we got in there for some gold. Let me get out my big fat body out of the light here one time. Well, we see some gold in there all day long. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't run a sluice or nothing. He just did panning all day, correct?
Yep, just panning.
So I've been getting pretty good gold out of this hole right here. I got Jocelyn or Josephine, whatever, in my pan. It works just as good doing it right in a pan. That's going to save a little bit of time and dipping my hands in that cold water. So adios, Ryan. Till the next time. Thanks for coming. And we're going to keep pounding away. I want a nugget. Rigby wants a nugget too. Back in a bit. Well, Ryan took off. And just as he was leaving, I was telling him that this pan I was working on had a lot of gold in it. Well, take a look for yourself. That's one pan right there. I think this spot's better than the spot we were at to begin with. I think maybe even way better. So here's what we're going to do. It's a little bit later in the afternoon, but it's a 4-hour ride home. And that snap thing just hasn't been working right. I wound up in a morgue a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna set up a sluice right over there, and I'm gonna get my bucket down here, and me and Jocelyn are gonna start force feeding a sluice in here for a couple hours before we leave. I know we got a great pile of gold, but the stuff coming out of this hole is amazing, absolutely amazing. Rigby totally nailed it. I can't thank him enough. Let me get set back up. We'll pick it up then, back in a bit. Well, we've been running the green machine here for quite a while since Ryan left. And I don't have quite the drop in elevation as I did up there, but it's still running. I'm catching lots of black sand in there, as you can see. And the mat is catching gold. Look at that big old chonker piece right there. That's right. I slowed this thing down, well, not by choice, just because of my pitch. And the gold is really sticking on there quite readily. That is from one scoop out of this spot right here. There's some amazing gold in this area right here. Well, let's do a little snuffer dump. It's time to get out of here. I got the sluice down. My back's on fire. It's getting late. I'm gonna do a little snuffer dump out of the stuff I've just been snuffering up today. But we got tons and tons of black sand to go through. Lots of black sand. But we did good today. Look at all that gold in there. There's some nice chunky bits in there too. Plenty. Oh, let me get this thing out of the way here one time. See if I can get that down into a corner. Look at those beautiful pieces. There's a nice big one right in the middle. Heck yeah. Let's get this stuff home and cleaned up, and we'll take a look at it up close and personal. There's gold in them there hills. He'll find it too. We're back. First things first. World, new Fridge of Wonder. Fridge of Wonder, world. Let's get down to business. Brass tacks. All right, that was a long ride. I got a little mail while I was gone. Got my nuggets for my Patreon. First place nugget. Look at that bad boy. Let me get that over here in the light. Look at that. What is that one? 2.17 grams. That there is a monster. That's first place nugget. Second place nugget. Look at that bad boy. Holy moly. What does that one weigh right there? 1.64. Two awesome nuggets for my Patreon. First, second, third, fourth, fifth lottery. Back to the show. All right, you know the drill. Here's my huge pile of concentrates right here. That's a lot. I've got my kitchen type strainer device. We're gonna see if there's any big gold in this stuff. We'll break this down into bigs and littles. And here's all the gold from the bigs. Oh, there isn't any, as per usual. Let me grab my little golden spoon here. Here's all the littles. I got the sluice up and running, as per usual, and we'll begin feeding. There's gonna be all kinds of gold in this stuff, because I was watching it running that sluice all day. Let me throw a couple on there and see if we can see anything, and we'll begin the process. I'm gonna have to turn that up just a little bit, looks like. That's easy to do with my little speed controller. Up. That worked out just fine. Let me feed a bunch on there, and we'll take a look at it when there's something to see. We're getting there, but it's looking pretty good. Letting her clean out a little bit. We got some nice looking pieces in there. That baby is done. We got her all cleaned out. We got some nice gold. Got some really nice looking garnets. Look at how nice and clear those are. You can see right through some of them dang things. There's some nice chunky pieces of gold right here too. There's all kinds of them in there. Nice long ones and plenty of flour to go along with it. That's for sure. We had a great day in the secret spot. Oh, that was a lot of fun. We sure cleaned up on Ryan's secret spot. I can't wait to go there at some time at 7 in the morning and hit that babe for 10 hours. We'll have a smile in the pan that long. So until the next episode, like, share, subscribe. Please do leave a comment. It helps build my channel. Flower Gold Wizards out.